Jon Jones is considered one of the best fighters in UFC history. He made his professional debut in 2008 and quickly rose to prominence in the UFC light heavyweight division. Jon Jones became the youngest UFC champion in history when he captured the title at the age of 23. His reign as the light heavyweight champion was marked by dominant performances and victories over some of the most notable names in the sport. He's known for his exceptional skills, including a unique fighting style that combines unorthodox striking techniques with high-level grappling and wrestling. We know he's one of the best to ever compete in the UFC. But what if Prime Jon Jones was around during Pride? Will he be able to rise to the top and become the king of combat sports? Let's find out. We're going to add Prime Jon Jones to Pride and see if he can make his way to the top. Here are the rules. Difficulty on Ultimate, a 16-man tournament with simulation energy, and of course all auto options so I can simulate. And for the last rule, this video will not end until Jon Jones makes it to the end of the tournament and grabs that belt. On Undisputed 3, we know there's a bunch of Pride fighters, but I decided to have a little fun with the tournament brackets and also include some of my favorite UFC fighters. So not only will you see Pride legends like Rampage Jackson, Chuck Liddell, or Mauricio, you'll also see people like GSP. This is Prime Jon Jones we're talking about. I don't want him to coast through it, right? We want to set up the best matches. I made a mistake with Dan Henderson. They added the Pride and UFC versions. My bad. For the first matchup in the tournament, Jon Jones has to go against Kendall Grove. I know what you're thinking, this might be a walk in the park, but Kendall Grove has always displayed versatility and tenacity in the world of combat sports, making him a respected veteran in the MMA community. Kendall Grove earned his UFC contract by winning the Ultimate Fighter Season 3. Following his victory in the show, he began his professional career in the UFC. He showcased his tall and lanky frame, often utilizing his reach advantage to strike from a distance. That sounds really familiar. In a fight like this, I would expect Jon Jones to utilize his Greco-Roman wrestling. We all know Jon Jones is a fantastic striker, very unorthodox with his reach, very unique fighting style, but the grappling definitely wins him fights. And there's nothing wrong with that. Prime Jon Jones was an animal with the wrestling and the grappling.
And that knee landed. 4 minutes left here. Oh, man, that was a good shot. Beautiful right hand.
Oh, and he just continues like he never stopped. Whoa. Oh, nice front kick there.
Oh, man, that was a
blast.
He was rocked from that punch.
You know, I saw Jon Jones headbutt the head of a car, and he was completely unfazed. So I'm not surprised that Kendall Grove could not get him out of there. At the end of the day, Jon Jones' grappling and striking was just way too much for him, and he's going to take the victory over Kendall Grove in his first match.
Jon Jones ends this in convincing fashion.
Let's check in on the rest of the tournament to see how we're doing. Lyoto Machida is going to advance to fight Jon Jones. Can't wait for that rematch. Hendo takes down Shogun. Two legends, if you ask me. We also have GSP moving on. Chuck Liddell, of course, easy. I would have loved to see Chuck Liddell get his shot at Rampage again, but Tito Ortiz is looking for revenge. In the biggest upset, we have Hendo taking down Anderson Silva. And for the last fight, we have Vitor Belfort taking down Nog. In the comments below, definitely let me know what your favorite Pride fight was or your favorite Pride fighter. Even though most Pride fighters got integrated into the UFC, let me know anyway. Next up, we have a rematch. Lyoto Machida versus Jon Jones. I'm looking forward to this fight. Jon Jones and Machida fought before in the UFC, and this fight ended with one of the most brutal finishes I've ever witnessed. Jon Jones ended up choking out Lyoto and putting him to sleep on his feet. So I'll be interested to see what would happen if they matched up in Pride. Just like in his Kendall Grove fight, I expect Jon Jones to utilize his wrestling. That's going to be the biggest difference maker. When it comes to striking, we all know Lyoto is one of the best with that karate style offense. Even if you rewatch their first fight in the UFC, even though Jon Jones has a significant reach advantage, Lyoto landed some great shots. And at that point, these were shots that we haven't seen people land on Jones before.
He was rocked from that punch.
He just shook it off like nothing happened.
Mounted.
That's, oh, ground and pound. Oh, straight armbar coming up.
And he's moving away from the submission.
Jon Jones is a wear and tear fighter, and that's what he did versus Lyoto in this Pride fight. Just because I don't recommend Jon Jones to strike with Lyoto doesn't mean that he can't. And ultimately, Jon Jones was able to grind out this fight on the ground, and when they got to the feet, it became light work.
That's it. They call it.
Man, Finished by a knee. Jon Jones ends this in convincing fashion.
Personally, Lyoto is one of my favorite fighters, but when somebody has your number, what can you do, right? Jon Jones advances in this tournament as he takes down Lyoto. Not only that, but we have GSP moving on to face Jon Jones. On the other end of the bracket, Chuck the Iceman Liddell takes down Tito Ortiz, and the other Hendo takes out Vitor Belfort. Sound off in the comments below. If Prime Jon Jones was in Pride Fighting Championships, how would he do? Same with GSP. If Jon Jones wants to rise to the top, I think skill set wise, this will be the toughest matchup so far. GSP was a complete dog on the feet and with his wrestling. One thing I'm interested in seeing is how will the carryover damage affect GSP.
The fight professor alongside
Boss Rutan, a.k.a. El Guapo.
and welcome to the show. Both these men have already been victorious twice this evening. Who will make it 3 in a row?
Well, I think we see very soon who has the more...
I still love how brutal Pride fighting was. It doesn't feel right saying it because it was very dangerous. I'm talking knees to the head, curve stomps. If you don't know what Pride is, it operated from 1907 to 1927. It was a Japanese mixed martial arts organization. The biggest differences between Pride and the UFC, of course, you saw some of the strikes that they can throw in Pride. Also, the production value and the fan base were top tier, but it couldn't stop them from going broke. But a lot of the UFC legends you know about, they became legends in Pride. So that's why I still go back and watch some of the fights. That's why people like Rampage Jackson will always have my respect and be one of my favorite fighters. So let's dive back into GSP versus Jon Jones. GSP actually had a really dominant round. Like I said before, GSP also has really crafty striking, really great jab, really great Superman punch, really great spinning back fist. Also, he does have that takedown ability, so I can see that that's giving Jon Jones an issue right now. As I said before, GSP is going to give Prime Jon Jones a little bit of a test. We have to see if Jon Jones can own up to it.
I saw some blood there.
What a shot! And oh, what a shot, man!
Oh, yeah, and he stomped his face. Looks to me like he recovered. Wow, recovered quickly. Look at that, he used it.
Turtle up, and he goes for the over-under. And sunny side up, back mount in effect. Great reversal. And he achieves the over-under.
Nice side mount here.
Work that wrist control.
Beautiful reversal here. Uh-oh.
Man.
That's an early one.
You got to be careful because sometimes when you get an animal hurt, they're more dangerous.
Yep, you put an animal in the corner.
Jon Jones and GSP definitely went back and forth. Jon Jones had moments where he could have ended the fight. Same with GSP, but Jon Jones was able to survive, get back to his feet, and deliver the final blow to GSP.
Oh, big left.
What a devastating punch. He dropped it.
Oh, that's it. That's it. It's over. Wow.
Jon Jones ends this in convincing fashion.
Even though Jon Jones won this fight in very convincing fashion, I do wonder how this fight would have went if GSP did not come into the battle so banged up, because GSP definitely gave him a run for his money. But it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. Next up is the final fight for Jon Jones. Let me find out Jon Jones is about to one-shot this. I was expecting this to be a really long video, but here we are at the final fight. Can Jon Jones become the king of Pride Fighting Championships on his first time through? He will be fighting the king of striking at the time, Chuck the Iceman Liddell. Chuck the Iceman Liddell, very legendary, very influential mixed martial arts striker. Great overhand, great Superman punch, represents the pit. We all heard stories about the brutality of his camp that he trained in. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Chuck Liddell in Pride matches up against Prime Jon Jones in Pride. Because of the way Jon Jones utilizes his reach, I do respect the striking ability of Chuck Liddell, but I think Jon Jones has the advantage here, and of course when it comes to grappling.
Middleweight on the planet is, big body slam. Sends the message, I don't like you.
Oh, hip toss there, beautiful.
And there's the half guard. And he jumps over into mount.
As we stated at the beginning of the video, Jon Jones' wrestling background when he first came into the UFC, that is what really put him over. A lot of people could not withstand his strength and his creativity when it came to his grappling. Not only that, but Jon Jones is just a savage and he's brutal. I remember seeing an article about Tyson Fury and Jon Jones saying if you put them in a room, Jon Jones believed he would be the one to walk out. If there weren't any rules, I definitely believe him. When it came to Pride Fighting Championships, or maybe even fighting in general, you have to have some type of savagery to you. A type of savagery that's not found in normal people, and Jon Jones definitely has that. You combine that mentality with his skill, Chuck Liddell's striking and grappling definitely fell flat against prime Jon Jones.
That could be it.
What a shot! Chopping right hand.
Oh, big left.
What a devastating punch. He drops. Oh! Vicious ground and pound victory.
Wow.
Jon Jones ends this in convincing fashion.
And there you have it. Could prime Jon Jones make it in Pride? He took down some of the best combat sports fighters ever and made it through the tournament in one shot. Well, that's no fun. Maybe I should do it again with another fighter to see how it goes. In the comments below, let me know. As of right now, prime Jon Jones is the king of Pride and one of the best UFC fighters that we've ever seen. In the comments below, let me know what you think of this video. I see a bunch of simulations in the 2K community. I said, let me bring it over to the UFC community because I do like UFC, I do like MMA. And so let me know if you want to see more of these simulations. If so, what type of situation? You all be easy and take care. Peace.